Hello and welcome to the Fastest Losers podcast for our Day 5 review of Beijing 2022. This episode was recorded live at twitch.tv/fastestlosers. Be sure to check us out there for more content. Anyway, here's today's episode. Hello, welcome to Day 5.
Oh yeah, it's been another jam-packed day in Beijing today, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've got a lot to discuss. We've got skiing, snowboarding, figure skating again to discuss, as well as some short track. So a lot to get into today.
No, it's been it feels like a lot's happened today, but I don't feel as tired today, which is good.
I mean, I also feel quite energetic, but I think that's because I've had a lot of caffeine today.
Okay, maybe that's the trick.
Yeah, and now my chest is kind of like, why did you do this to me?
Yeah, I guess I don't know. Lots to look forward to today. Actually, there were lots of like medal event and also qualifying events going on. So yeah, it was a good day. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did as well. It's been very emotional at very different points, and I think we should probably jump in with the women's snowboard cross.
Yes, let's do it because it was the story of the day.
Yes, that had all of the emotions.
Yeah, I guess I was all prepared yesterday. Actually, I didn't actually say it on the show. I was going to say the only person who I'm allowed to beat Charlotte Banks is Lynsey Jacobellis. So technically,
Yeah,
it happened.
It was very frustrating because Charlotte Banks got off to a great start. She was second fastest in the qualifying round, and she was racing really well. She seemed to be able to find speed when nobody else would. But then she was just cut off by Tess Critchlow in the quarterfinals, and that was the end of it.
Yeah, it was weird because it looked like she was in control, and then she went a bit wider on one of the corners, but that was because someone was trying to come around her. But then that was when I think when Critchlow came from the inside, I think.
Yeah, Critchlow sort of cut her up, and Charlotte stayed on her feet, she just sort of slammed the brakes on.
Yeah,
and it couldn't get back into it. It looked like it was very close in real time, and then actually there was a good few feet between her and second place.
Yeah, it kind of killed her momentum, didn't it? Because she was leading, and then all of a sudden she went for like leading to like third, and it was like, oh no. And then it was weird because the two that were obviously leading were then when they were kind of fighting for the lead at the previous bend, then ended up not neither of them qualified. So it was a very dramatic race. It was annoying that it was the closest race of the whole day. It just happened to be the one that should have missed out by less than a tenth, and it's just like,
and you really have to feel for her because she's been on the podium in every race bar one this season.
Yeah,
and she was saying, "Oh, this is terrible that her worst event of the season had to come at the Olympic Games."
Yeah, it's just the nature of the sport, though, isn't it? I guess. Yeah, some of the quarterfinals were a bit stacked, I thought, as well. This was a very tough one, but you can only race against who's there, I suppose. And yeah, not to be. Sad times.
Not to be. She still does have another event. She's got the team event.
Yeah.
We don't know how that will shape out. Of course, I'm sure Canada will be very strong in that, the USA. But there's still something for her to fight for.
I think Italy and Australia got medals at the Worlds last year.
Oh,
I think because they've got pretty solid teams. So it's going to be about who can do the best, and also I guess who's going to average across the two. I suppose we'll see how well Hugh Nightingale gets on tomorrow in the men's, and then that'll give us an idea of whether we can get our hopes up or not for the mix.
Yeah. But on the flip side of the coin, it was devastation for Charlotte Banks, but for Lynsey Jacobellis, elation.
Yay! I was so happy because I said on a preview, I was like, if she wins this is going to be it. This is and to be fair, if Charlotte wasn't going to win, it was Lynsey all the way, and I was definitely team Lynsey all the way, and she never really ever looked in doubt all the way through quarters, semis, and final. She just breezed it, and it was like, well, this is unusual for her.
Yeah, particularly in the final, she just went straight to the front, stayed out of drama, and it was from the gate to the finish, she was in control of that race.
Yes, so it was literally the same pretty much all the way through today, especially in a quarter. I think she was again out of the gate, maybe not the quickest out of the gate every time, but by the time they got to the first kind of proper kicker, she was in the lead. So she worked those bumps at the start really well, and then it was so important for her to get the lead. And then you can see it was just a case of her hanging on, and with her experience, obviously she knows what she's doing. And it's nice to have another older Olympic champion. And I guess obviously what happened, this is the fifth Olympics and fifth time lucky after what happened in Turin 16 years ago, which is incredible. And then I suppose what surprised me was that this was America's first gold of the games,
Yeah.
of all the people as well, to bring it.
I mean, I imagine that they'll be probably getting a gold medal tomorrow in the figure skating, but she's just pipped Nathan Chen to that gold medal for USA.
Yeah, well, there's Chloe Kim obviously as well.
Of course, yeah.
Early doors tomorrow as well. So obviously they would have got the gold at some point very soon, but it's just the fact that it's taken them to day 5 to get one, and it's come from Lynsey Jacobellis.
Yes.
In the most unpredictable event, probably.
But it really did take the sting out of Charlotte Banks losing, because I was just, after that, I was a bit dejected. British hopes dashed for another time these Olympic Games. And then, but to see Lynsey Jacobellis so deserved that gold medal.
Absolutely. And it wasn't unexpected, really. She's been on the podium at a few World Cups this year, as has the French lady, Chloe Trespue. I can't say.
I think the S might be silent. I'm not certain. So I think it might be Trespue.
Well, either way,
Chloe.
I think she's had loads of silvers on the World Cup this year, which is appropriate because she got a silver here. So it wasn't, it was kind of good to see at least some decent ones, because obviously the top seed and defending Olympic champion, Michaela Mioli, she didn't finish her semi-final. So no, she didn't qualify in the semis, did she? Yeah, she made the semis and then went out.
Yep, she was eliminated, but yeah, she was the fastest in qualification. So big upset for her as well.
Yeah, so to have the defending world and Olympic champions both and the top 2 seeds in the senior rounds not be in the final was quite the shock in itself.
Yeah, and then a bronze medal for Canada there for Marita Odine.
And fourth for Belle Brockhoff, who sometimes just seemed to scrape through every single round.
Yeah.
And I thought if she wins a medal, I was like, she's done well, but fourth place for Australia there.
Yeah, but it was a delightfully fun event to watch. As always, it's the snowboard cross.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to the men's tomorrow.
Yep. Should we move on to the other snowboarding events of the day?
Yes, let's look at the halfpipe qualification, because I said the women's is tomorrow. I think the men have got a day off, and then the men's is the next day.
Yep. Chloe Kim, defending champion of the USA, predictably finished first. She had a relatively safe run, but also she didn't need to pull out all of the big tricks just yet. With what she did, she's already qualified, and an impressive run from her.
Yeah, I guess the big surprise was that she was the only American to make it through. Maddie Mastro was probably the only upset to not make it, really, of the names, finishing 13th and just missing out. But I mean, it's Chloe Kim's to lose, isn't it?
Yeah. And then we've got 3 Japanese athletes in the final. We've got the Tomita sisters and Mitsuki Ono. And Spain might have a middle chance of this in the form of Quarel Castellet. I think she is a world silver medalist.
Yeah, she's won world medals. She's won a few World Cups. And I tipped her in the preview to maybe sneak on the podium. I think she'll be in the mix. It's going to be tough, but I think she's got the talent to get back on a podium and get a rare snowy medal for Spain.
Yep, I think they've definitely got a figure skating medal in Pyeongchang.
Javier Fernandez.
I can't remember if they got a snow medal as well.
Yeah, I don't feel like they've had a snow medal for a while. I'll have a look, actually. I'm going to Google that right now.
Okay.
I think they say Japan could probably be on the podium as well. One of the Japanese, I think, will be on the podium at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure at least one. And then in Kai Shuitong, China have a decent medal chance there as well. So she'll definitely be getting the support from the crowd, which will be very partisan for her.
Yeah, just looking at Spain, they got 2 medals in Pyeongchang, and that was the first time they've had 2 medals since about 92. Just double check, which is quite ridiculous that they actually hadn't won a medal in that long. Yeah, Albertville was the last time they won a medal before Pyeongchang, where we obviously said we had Javier Fernandez. Javier Fernandez got a bronze in the figure skating. Oh, and it was actually in the snowboard cross in the men's event.
Oh, okay.
Regino Hernandez, he got a bronze as well. So, maybe they will get, maybe better than a bronze. Okay, but they haven't had better than a bronze for a long time. So,
yeah. So as well, Fernandez and Hernandez in 2018.
Yeah,
and someone with a different name this time for Quarel.
Yeah. But I guess, I don't know. Should Spain be better at winter sports? That's maybe a conversation for another day, given they if you're quite close to Andorra, and they've got a bit of
there's
mountainage.
quite a good few ski resorts near in Catalonia, near Barcelona, and there's also actually surprisingly some snowy mountains in Andalusia, in the most southern community as well, the Sierra Nevada. And then actually I remember being in Spain and getting the train from Madrid to Galicia and just sort of looking out over the plains, and then suddenly it was, oh, I see snowy mountains, and I was like, I'm in Spain and I'm looking at snowy mountains right now.
I guess maybe they just don't have the skiing infrastructure. I don't know, but looking at they've only actually won 4 Winter Olympic medals in their history, and 92 was a bronze in alpine skiing from Bianca Fernandez. If you want to add in another Fernandez, I'm just going to check. Then the medal before that was 1972 in Sapporo. So that was a gold though. That was a gold though, and that was alpine skiing, and it was actually it was the father of the Fernandez who won in 92.
So Queralt could be the first Spanish athlete to not have a Z at the end of their surname to win a medal. You heard it here first on Fastest Losers.
Well, there we go. So the fact that 50% of their medals are from the same family, and both in alpine skiing. So yeah, fingers crossed she can get a medal there.
Yeah, I'd love to see a medal for her. As for the men's snowboard halfpipe, you were following this a bit more closely.
Yeah, I suppose the only note was that Shaun White left it quite late, and it looked like he wasn't going to make it. And I was like, oh, you can't go to your 5th Olympics that not make the final, but he did with that last run under pressure. He always delivers under pressure, so good stuff. And to be honest, there weren't that many upsets here. Everyone you expect to be there was there in the final, really. All 4 Japanese, both Hirano, well, all 3 Hiranos are in the final, with Ayuma Hirano, obviously double defending silver medalist, hoping to go 1 step higher. Scotty James was qualified 2nd behind him. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if we had the same 3 on the podium as we did in Pyeongchang, maybe in a different order.
Maybe.
I want Scotty James to win it, but at the same time, I can't begrudge Hirano winning. And at the same time, I'd love to see Shaun White win it. So
yeah, it does feel like Scotty James has been a bit of a perpetual silver medalist.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be nice for him to actually get a gold, and just because he's been around for a while as well, and I feel like this is his time. But at the same time, say Hirano's been the perpetual silver medalist as well. So but like I said, wouldn't mind Shaun winning it on his last day of the competition. And I guess there's other Japanese guys there as well, and the second Aussie guy as well, Valentino Giseli. He's had a really good day as well. Qualified in 5th. Taylor Gold, other Americans, with Chase Josie, they made there as well. And watch out for the Swiss, Pat Bergener. He was 5th, I think, last time. And Jan Scherer's had a really good season on the World Cup this year and had a good performance at Larks. I think he was 2nd at Larks behind Hirano. So yeah, good. It should be a really good final actually, which is not tomorrow but the day after.
And special shout out to Seamus O'Connor, 15th place. He didn't qualify, but I think that's Ireland's best result in these Olympics so far.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And yeah, he was unlucky not to make the final. Actually, I thought he was in the last few qualifying positions for a while, but not to be.
Is he one of those plastic Irish, or is he actually?
I think he's plastic Irish.
Okay,
but because he's always competed in the half-pipe, hasn't he? I think this must be his 3rd Olympics, maybe. Let me just check here. He's from California. But I guess with a name like Seamus O'Connor, you can't begrudge the fact that he's Irish.
No. Nobody would know looking down a start list, that's for sure.
Okay, so he's only 24, and this is his 3rd Olympics, so there's time yet.
There's time yet, although snowboarding isn't necessarily an old man's game, unless your name is Shaun White.
Yeah. And I suppose the Irish team have not got too many people left, have they? Because Elsa Desmond's gone, hasn't she, already? In the luge.
Yeah.
And there's still Brendan Newby in the half-pipe freestyle skiing.
Ooh. Best of luck to him.
And obviously there's the usual alpine skiers who'll be running way down in the 30s.
Yeah, once they've already declared the gold medalist.
Yes, but never mind.
Speaking of alpine skiing, we had the women's slalom today.
Yes.
And a bit of an upset here.
Do you think? Oh, I don't know. So I think the favourite winning the gold was maybe expected.
Would you have said? I wasn't sure if she was the favourite. I was wondering if it was more. Well, she had a battle in the second run to get back into it.
Yeah, it was. I think. I mean, it's hard when she was the favourite coming into the Olympics,
Okay.
but because she had such a shocker in the GS and wasn't even top 10, I was like, oh, Vlahova's having a bit of a mare. What's going on? And then again, after the first run, she was in eighth, but at the same time, she was close enough. I was like, okay, maybe. So I was just, I know it sounds bad, but when she nailed her second run, I was like, okay, this is it. Because I just wanted her to get a medal first, because Slovakia haven't won an alpine skiing medal, and they've been close so many times with the Zampa brothers and in the team events and things like that. And obviously, Vlahova's been world number one for a while now. Won the World Cup this year and last year, I think. Won loads of world medals, and it was like, okay, you need to get your Olympic medal. And it looked like it was just going to be a bronze, maybe. And no one could beat her. And then people were crashing out, and then she hung on for the gold. So it was a nice, really, again, another nice podium. Because after the first run, we had it was Lena Dürr, the German, who went. She was first one down, and no one beat her in the whole of the first run. So I was a bit like, I wasn't expecting to see you at the top here. And then we had Sarah Hector in third, Michelle Gizin was second. So that was kind of a bit more expected given how well Hector had done, obviously winning the GS. And then we had Wendy Holder in fifth and Vlahova in eighth. And when I tweeted, I actually put those two on the tweet because I was like, hinted like, watch out for them maybe in the second run. I guess obviously the big news again was Michaela Schifrin not finishing, similar to the GS, just only make it down a few gates and then pulling up and sitting on the side of the course crying basically for a while. Obviously don't really know what's going on there. She's obviously had a rough few years with her father passing away and whatnot and injuries and stuff, but I don't know. The form wasn't bad coming into this. I don't know if it's just the snow or just something else mentally going on, but hopefully we'll see her again. She was a bit ambiguous about whether she'd compete in any more events. So, but I think she will. I think she'll have a few days to rest, and the combine's still a good chance for her as well. So, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe the technical events just haven't suited her here because that's normally her specialty.
But impressively, she, despite being absolutely distraught, she still spoke to every journalist that wanted to speak to her at the end of the run, which is incredibly impressive.
And at length as well. She was properly giving long quotes and really pouring her heart out a bit. And there's a response on social media has been good, like Lynsey Vonn and Simone Biles have been in touch with her, and obviously Simone's kind of been on a similar journey in Tokyo.
I was thinking Simone's changed the narrative in many ways. Yeah,
definitely. So I guess there's a lot of pressure on Michaela, but then skiing's tough, and these are the technical events. So as we've seen, people can mess it up, as we saw with Sarah Hector in the second run.
Yep.
She was looking good to get the gold, and then just messed it up right near the end, and obviously ended up not getting a medal. Katarina Liedensberger, that was more of a surprise, her getting a silver. She had a really good second run after only being seventh in the first. So yeah, 8th, 7th, and 5th in the first one ended up being on the podium with Wendy Holden getting a bronze, which I was pleased to see because I always I don't know, she's one of my faves. So I always like to see her on the podium. And then, Lena Dürr missing out in fourth when she was devastated because obviously she was leading and didn't quite happen on the second run. So yeah, real mixed bag in that second run.
Yeah, I really did feel for Vlahova, that's a mouthful. I really did feel for Vlahova there because when she was waiting for each one, I've never seen anyone look so stressed at the bottom of the hill in all of my years of watching winter sport.
Same. I guess it was weird because she was 8th, and then it was like she had to wait, and then when she got a medal, she kind of hugged her team and all that, and it was fine. And then I think she did give Sarah Hector a bit of a hug as well, and Hector was like, I think she was like saying, "I'm pleased you got a medal," and then. Yeah, obviously it was like when it was realised, it was like, oh, there's only one person who can deny me the gold here. That was when she all of a sudden just got really stressed. And like, you see, she was kind of like, I don't want to watch this. And then obviously when Dürr crossed the line and was fourth, it was a bit like, oh my God, I've won. And they were all celebrating. And yeah, it's huge for Slovakia. This is a big deal for them. So I'm really pleased that the favourite and the expected champion actually happened, even though she'd been through a bit of an ordeal to get there.
Yeah. And I think it makes it I think it was 4 consecutive Olympics for Slovakia now where they have won a gold medal, albeit in different sports. A lot of them have been in biathlon, but it's nice to see them finding some consistent success at the Winter Games.
Yeah, and there could still be more. I think they're looking good for the team event. I haven't actually checked the team who's actually competing, but I'm assuming the Zampa brothers are still going strong. They've still got that to come. Yeah, they are in the team. Although actually Vlahova's not in the team event, so maybe she's done. She's still got Super G to come, but not doing the team event, which is interesting. whereas the Zampa brothers are. So maybe they'll still be in the mix. But no, it's really pleased with that podium again. Another good one. Hopefully, we'll see Schifrin come back at some point and put down a performance that we know from her.
Yeah.
And I just shout out to Charlie Guest as well. Annoying because she was 15th after the first run, had an absolutely brilliant first run, and was on a path to kind of match that in the second run, and just met big slide towards the end, literally in the last few seconds, a big slide cost her about a second, and she ended up dropping from what would have been. She was with Dubovskaya, who was in 13th, so she would have been around that 12th to 14th ranking. And she said she was aiming for top 15. That was the minimum she wanted. So 21st, and just to miss the top 20 as well was a little bit annoying.
Yeah.
But it shows what form she's in. So I am excited for the team event because she's looking really good. And Alex Tilley obviously didn't finish today, but she's still racing pretty well. So fingers crossed.
The team events, it's giant slalom format, isn't it?
Yeah, but obviously it's like obviously because in parallel they're racing each other, so it's it should be good. That should be very exciting to watch. That's the last event, I think, of the Alpine schedule.
I imagine it would be. I think it works well when the team event is at the end, kind of like the relays in athletics.
Yes, definitely.
So we'll go on for skiing for speed, for skiing for style in the big air. This another thing with a favourite one, you'd say?
Yes, well, yeah, I tipped him in the preview show. I was like, watch out for Bert Ruud of Norway, and he was kind of totally dominant, really. It was almost a done deal, wasn't it? Early doors.
Yeah, his first jump was the highest scoring of the entire competition, 95.75, and yet nobody else could catch him up. And
then Colby Stevenson of America got silver. He's been through it as well, with like being in a car crash and having loads of operations a few years ago. So he's again had to rebuild his body to get back to this level, and he got the silver. And then I was absolutely thrilled for Henrik Harlow to get the bronze, because he's been a stalwart of the freestyle skiing world for years. He's like, he's in his 30s now, and this could have maybe his last chance. And because Big Air's his better event, and he's obviously had to wait for that to come in. It was kind of like Jenny Jones in Sochi, actually, that similar bronze medal where it's like, it's your first chance, but it's also your last chance kind of thing, because he's done this. I mean, he's competed the last two Olympics in slopestyle, but that was maybe not his best thing. So, but he's been around a while, and he's finally got that Olympic medal. And to beat obviously had to beat his Swedish teammate to get it, but I won't begrudge him that.
Wow, we'll see if his teammate does.
Yeah, but no, I enjoyed it. It was good competition.
It was good. Alexander Hall of the USA, or A Hall, which I think is a very unfortunate nickname, is he was back in 8th. On his final attempt, he did attempt a 21.60, which was, so that's what, 6 full rotations. Yeah, my brain can't comprehend, but I think the commentator was like, we need to count this again. was that what he was doing? Yeah. He didn't land, but in my notes over it, he came bloody close. Yeah, that was make or break thing, wasn't it, for him? Yeah, because it was quite close, like between the rest of the medalists. Really, there were a lot of people who could have got on the podium when there were still like 7 or 8 to go. You're like, okay, any of these guys could, if they lay down a big jump, can get on the podium. But the best thing for me was Bert Ruud on his final run. We knew he'd won, gets the Norwegian flag out, takes it with him, and has it in his hand the whole way. Still does the trick and lands it, and then waves the flag at the end. Yeah, 69 points, and I was sort of expecting the flag to be unfurled as he did it. So yeah, I wasn't sure if because he had it around his neck initially, then he took it off and held it in his hand. I was like, okay, that's more sensible. But then he just waved it as he landed. So yeah, another good goal for Norway, and again, another favourite that won the gold. Yeah, I imagine with that stunt with the flag that he'll probably be making a lot of end of games montages with that. Yes, we love an end of games montage. Pencil it in. It's what the BBC do best. Yeah, I'm sure we'll see Lynsey Jacobellis in there as well. Oh, it's just that has made me so happy today. Yeah, definitely the highlight of the day. In other news, we've had the start of the men's ice hockey tournament. The Russian Olympic Committee beating Switzerland 1-0, and we've got an ongoing match between Denmark and Czech Republic. Denmark up 2-1. And also in similar non-event news from today, there's been a drama with the figure skating team event. The medal ceremony was due to take yesterday. The International Skating Union have now said that are withholding the medals because of a legal issue. There's rumours that one of the Russian Olympic Committee skaters failed a drugs test. There's further rumours that this was marijuana, so this was, a Shikari type incident, although he probably didn't do it in a state where it was legal.
Yeah.
But if this is true, there's one of 6 skaters it could be. I'm saying it could be a woman.
Yeah.
I'm profiling and stereotyping. And it could be quite consequential for the individual competitions, because at worst the Russians came 3rd in the team event. So pretty much all of their skaters are medal contenders individually.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. Like I say, even though there's been no figure skating going on today, it's still been dramatic news all the way through.
Yep. Then
should we stick with the skating and go to the short track?
Fun, dramatic day, although not necessarily dramatic in all the places we wanted it to be.
I know. It was just like, I guess, we'll start with the men's 15 then, just because it was ridiculous that we had 10 men in the final, and then it was the most boring, straightforward final ever, and not one person fell down.
Yep, I think it's the most that I've ever been in a short track Olympic final. I was expecting it to be a case of not if somebody falls, but when.
Yeah. I was expecting a Steve Bradbury moment. I was like, it's all going to happen.
I was thinking, well, speed-wise, I did not think Farrell Tracy had much of a chance, but if there was a huge wipeout, maybe it could happen for him. But nevertheless, first British final since 2014 for male skater.
Exactly. BBC was saying since 2006, but Jack Wellborn made the 1500 final in Sochi, but he did fall at the first corner and didn't finish. So maybe that's why they've forgotten, because he only lasted about 5 seconds.
So Tracy maybe did better, probably lower down in numbers.
Technically, obviously, Tracy was 9th and Wellborn was 7th, but we won't bone pick there. I think, to be fair, Farrell had a really good day, actually, because he had a tough heat and he was lucky, I guess, that 2 guys went down, and then it was just him and the other guy to try and get it, and he did beat him to get that 3rd spot, but the other 2 were way far in the distance, so it was just the 2 of them. And then obviously in the semi-final, he raced really well. To get himself to the front, it's quite clever, because if you're not as quick as, and he knows he's not the quickest, if somebody does try and come up the inside and barges him out, which is what happened, then you can get advanced to the final, because you can only get advanced if you're in a qualifying position. So we saw that with I think it was John Henry Kruger in one of the other semis. He got barged out, but he was in 4th. So it didn't actually make a difference, because he wasn't in a qualifying position. So he was advanced to the B final, whereas Tracy was leading, and to be honest, might not have made it anyway.
I don't think he would have done.
Was then advanced to the final because he was impeded, and he did lose time, but whether it made a difference or not, but they advanced to the final with 4 others. So it was 6 qualified and 4 advanced, and no one fell over.
And then as for the medalists in this event, or I think because there were so many people, I think everybody was too scared to actually skate aggressively, which is probably why we had a very dull final, perhaps one of the dullest races of these Olympics so far.
I know, because the Italian guy, Con Fortola, he went straight to the front and was about to take it on. I was like, here we go, we're going to have a Jason Kenny moment here where he just goes for it.
Yeah.
But then he just slowed it down and nothing happened. So, but South Korea have finally got their gold medal, so they can stop complaining and appealing to the court of arbitration for sport and all that kind of stuff. So Hwang won the gold. To be fair, it was deserved. He has been, I guess, number 1 and one of the favourites for a while. So Stephen Dubois of Canada, that was a surprise silver, I think. I guess Charles Hamlin's the one we know about, but he was the one penalised for pushing Farrell Tracy out in the semi-final. And Dubois, he was reserved last time, so it's nice for him to actually get to the Olympics and compete and win a medal.
And a really close finish for that silver medal as well. He just beat Elistratov there.
Yeah, literally came down to the photo. I guess I'm disappointed for my friends, the Liu brothers, who obviously Shaolin Sandor Liu is like world number 1. He's not world number 1 in the 500, so maybe that's still to come. But again, for him not to get a medal, I think he thought he'd won the other day, and then Shaolin to come 4th, but I know he's already got a bronze. It was a shame that they couldn't get in the mix, but there were just too many people. I think it was that kind of race, wasn't it? It was just, if you weren't in the top 3 with the last lap to go, you weren't going to get a medal.
Perhaps Elise has placed a curse on her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, maybe. No, I think there seems to be pretty good friends still, because she's still been supporting him on social media.
Oh, really? Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, she was actually annoyed that he didn't win the gold the other day.
Oh, okay, that's nice. I wasn't actually expecting that, given that I remember her tweeting that they broke up via text.
Yes, but then if you listen to my podcast, she will say that she kind of didn't apologise for him, but she did say that she wasn't in a good place when they broke up, and I think she said I would have broken up with me at that time, so she kind of apologised.
Yeah, that's okay then.
And then we had the qualification for the women's 500.
Was it
which was
1,000? Do you
sorry,
mean?
1,000? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
500. I've had the 500 already. I keep forgetting that the men. Yeah, it's all a different order, isn't it?
Yeah, which is nice. It makes it a bit more varied. You sort of see you do notice the difference in paces, even though it is a very short track, as the name suggests.
Yes. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Catherine Thompson obviously just didn't have the pace today. It's a shame. Like I said this other day, they seem to be going really quick because I've had a lot of Olympic records, as you can see from this race. The Olympic record in the first heat, then second by Shorting won the second and did an Olympic record. And even that American there, Corinne Stoddard, was automatically qualified as the fastest loser because she's like 1:27, which was an Olympic record like a minute earlier. So yeah, they're all, I don't know what's going on. They're all just going really fast, and I think that's paying for a lot of just people who haven't got the pace. So you can be a good tactical racer and not even be in the mix if you're just not fast enough.
Yeah, I do wonder whether Beijing is at relative altitude at least compared to the last three Olympics. The last three Olympics were all held speed skating at sea level. Beijing's a decent bit higher, so that does make the ice faster in many cases in speed skating.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess a word for Kim Booten, who obviously got the bronze in the 500 and was one of the favourites for this and was comfortably leading her heat, and then basically fell.
Yeah.
She was literally last corner, winning the race, and she just literally just got the corner wrong, kind of over-rotated and spun out, and she was literally 5 meters from the finish line. So, bit of a shame, given she's the top Canadian. But then they have others through, and I was pleased for the Belgian Hannah Desmet to get through as well. Watch out for her. I'm enjoying watching her. And the Polish, we mentioned the Polish girl, of course, Natalia Mazalewska. I'm going to go with. She was one of the favourites in the 500, but had tested positive for COVID, and then was told she could compete, and was on the bus to go or something. And then they said, actually, no, you can't. And there was all this drama. She ended up crying for about a day because she wasn't allowed to compete, but she's back now. She's competing and she qualified. So we're rooting for her, given she was denied her chance.
I won't be the first to say it, but COVID is really annoying.
Yes. But the good news from the bobsleigh is that Alana Myers is finally free from her isolation.
Excellent news.
She's been COVID since before the opening ceremony because she was meant to carry the flag for America, didn't get the chance. But as of today, she's free.
That's good to hear. It means that we should have a lot more of a competition on our hands in the bobsleigh.
Yes, and the monobob as well.
Yeah, rather than just the Kaylee Humphrey show.
And then I think the only short track we had was the relay, wasn't it? The women's relay.
Women's 3000.
Which I think just went to, I don't know, I wasn't really sure who to expect to be in that final anyway, but I think South Korea have won, was it 7 of the last 9 of these?
Yeah, and with shorting, the Netherlands were always going to be a big threat here. I think that does look like a very predictable final.
Yeah, Netherlands, China, Korea, and Canada. Yeah, that's as expected, I suppose. So should be good.
And so yeah, that was the short track for the day. Then what else have we had? We've had the Nordic combined. This was a very close finish. I didn't follow it. Lots of people were saying it was dramatic. I don't necessarily know why.
No, I don't either. As we discussed in the preview, Nordic combined very much comes near the bottom of my list of things to watch at the Winter Olympics.
I did watch a bit of the ski jumping portion of it today, but that was because there was literally nothing else on.
Well, it looks close actually. Yeah, there was only less than a second between gold and silver.
Yeah, I think that it was a really sort of close race on the pursuit cross country, as they do. So it was gold for Germany for Vinzenz Geiger, Jürgen Grabach of Norway with the silver, and Lucas Greiderer with the bronze.
The standard nations we expect to see there.
Yes.
From kind of ski jumping / cross country skiing.
Although I don't know whether this fact is still true, but I knew at least back in the 90s, that Nordic combined was actually the most watched event of the Winter Olympics in Japan. Not figure skating, like you might expect, given that they've got a lot of strength in figure skating.
That's interesting. Yeah, I guess ski jumping I'd expect, but maybe not the combined.
Yeah. But I suppose maybe they love their marathon running there, so it sort of brings that similar distance vibe to it.
Yeah, actually, the BBC are just repeating the final of that race right now. So,
oh, tell me what happens when you get there. We also had the conclusion of the men's doubles luge just before we came on air, and this was a successful defense of the title for Tobias Wendel and Tobias Alt, Team Tobias for Germany. They were 2014 and 2018 champions, so they've done the three-peat. They've still got the team relay to go, so they might get even more gold medals. They probably will, because Germany have won the 2 other luge gold medals. And then Germany also winning the silver with Tony Eggert and Sasha Benneken, and Austria winning bronze, Thomas Stoy rather, and Lorenz Koller.
As expected, then, I guess.
Yeah, I no shocks there. The Romanians didn't get onto the podium or anything.
I do love the team event, actually, the relay.
Yeah,
always, I do enjoy watching that.
Seeing them sit up and punch the thing to let the next person go, I think that's good.
It's very like prime time BBC One game show. But go, you can go.
Or sort of like an old It's a Knockout type thing.
Yeah.
The curling men's tournament has got underway today. Canada beating Denmark 10-5, Norway beating Switzerland 7-4, Sweden 6-4 over China, and has apparently USA Russian Olympic Committee is still going on.
Well, it's 5-all, so I'm assuming it's gone to an additional end.
Yeah, having watched so much mixed doubles curling, I did sort of find it quite funny. Like, oh, they're not playing so much towards the centre. You really do get to appreciate the differences in the different styles of curling.
So, any upsets there? I don't think. Maybe Switzerland losing? I don't know.
Against Norway, I wouldn't say that's an upset. I'd say that they'd, on paper, be quite evenly matched.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's curling, isn't it? Everyone's evenly matched, pretty much.
Relatively so, yeah. And yeah, it's also just sort of winning those occasions where it could go either way and trying to do so regularly.
And we'll see, obviously, the Brits get underway tomorrow. I think the women are on at 1 a.m. and then the men at 6 a.m., I think.
Yep. The women are playing Switzerland at 1 a.m. Both British teams are reigning European champions from just this November past. So theoretically, they should have a good level of confidence going into those matches. But then Sweden in the evening, luckily they don't have Almeida de Val, given the form that she was playing in the bronze medal match. Jen Dodds will be on the women's team. She's the second. She'll be throwing the third and fourth stones. So hopefully that she can give some insight into the running of the ice that maybe some of the other teams don't have.
Yeah, hopefully.
And then Bruce Mauer playing a country called Italy with a certain Amos Mosana, who is now an Olympic gold medalist. So
we'll have to see how good the rest of this team are.
Yeah,
they could all be terrible.
They won the bronze medal at the European Championships in November just gone, but Scotland, as they were then, were unbeaten in that tournament. So maybe the full team Mauer can just get a bit of revenge.
Yeah, hopefully. I can still see us finishing fourth in both, but that's not. We need to get a medal at these Olympics. It's getting a bit. I'm not panicking yet, but it's getting tense.
I'm mentally preparing myself for the eventuality that we don't win a medal.
But that's because I've only watched the Winter Olympics since '94, and that's not happened.
Yeah, I'm going to say it was '92 when we last didn't win a medal.
So I'm obviously the good luck charm here for the British team. So they always do find a way to win a medal somehow, even though it's probably not going to be in the skeleton this time, and we'll maybe rely on the curling and the bobsleigh. But 2 chances in both. So that's the main thing, is that there's 2 chances in both.
Yeah. I mean, I started watching the Winter Olympics in 2010, so Britain have won a gold medal in every game since then. So I'll be even sadder. I can one up you.
I think the gold's gone already. I think we obviously, the mixed and Charlotte Banks were our gold hopes.
Yes, but curling, it's wide open. It's a new tournament. It's a fresh start. And if both teams can get in the right headspace, medals could be won.
But yeah, fingers crossed. There's still other chances elsewhere. We might have a surprise, because we could have had a surprise in the short track today if people had fallen over. So you never know.
And then also looking ahead to tomorrow, we have the start of the men's skeleton. I've been having a look down at the training times, looking So the fastest time belongs to Alexander Tretyakov of Duchess List Fame. He's got the fastest time of all of the 6 training runs. The next fastest overall is Yan Wengang of China, taking advantage of that familiarity with the track that the Chinese athlete have. They should, they look to be in contention for a medal. We'll see if they can keep up the good performances for host nations in the men's skeleton. Then Christopher Grote of Axel Jung, they've been consistently fast. As for the Brits, I'd say Matt Weston is probably our best chance, but I'd say chance of getting in the top 10.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at, isn't it? Top 10.
Yeah. And then I'd love Martin Stukas to get a gold medal. I feel like he's been unfairly denied one for many Olympics. If training is anything to go by, that's not going to be happening. He's been sort of 7th, 8th, 9th. Often his older brother Thomas has been finishing faster than him.
That's what I'm going to be rooting for.
Yeah, I would definitely be supporting Martin Stukas. He's overdue an Olympic gold medal. I think it would be criminal if his career ends without an Olympic gold medal, given how amazing and dominant he's been in other areas of the sport. But it's not looking hopeful.
Yeah, no, it's not. Fingers crossed though. We'll see how it goes.
Yep. We've also got combined alpine skiing for the men.
Yes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Obviously, there will be no defending champion as Martel Hirscher has retired. I guess Alexei Pantera, maybe a warm favourite, silver medalist last time, good at both disciplines. Alexander Armott-Kilder is obviously going to be in the mix. I guess keep an eye out for the Canadian Jack Crawford. Obviously, he's been close to the medals. Fingers crossed he can get one this time. And a few of those Austrians and a few of the other Canadians actually in the mix. So and maybe Christoph Innerhofer as well. Yeah, no, I was impressed with Trevor Philp, one of the other Canadians. I think he was close to doing a good time in the Super G. So maybe we'll see how he gets on. But no, it's good. Yeah, I look forward to it. Did they have training today? Actually, I don't even know. Maybe they did.
I couldn't confirm nor deny.
Either way, should be good.
In the cross-country skiing, we've got the women's 10-kilometer classic. It's been a weird day. We've had neither cross-country skiing nor biathlon.
But we've had Nordic combined, you see. That's why.
That's true. Uses a similar track. We've got the free skating of the men's singles. So Nathan Chen of the USA will be looking to take the gold medal, see if he can take advantage of that world record from the short program. Aerials, for mixed team aerials, I think that's a new event.
Yeah, that'll be making its debut. Should be. Well, I mean, we haven't had the aerials yet, so it's hard to. We can't read any form into this.
No, but typical countries here would be China, Belarus, Australia, and the men's ice hockey continues. The luge team relay is tomorrow, and the women's snowboard halfpipe and the men's snowboard cross.
Yes, I think the snowboarding for me and the alpine combined are the things I'm looking forward to, but obviously I'll be across the skeleton as well. Even if the medals aren't decided in the skeleton, they kind of are in a way.
It counts towards it. It's kind of like in the heptathlon or decathlon where, that's why I like having them on the early days, because it's something that is consequential rather than more consequential than a heat.
Yeah, definitely. But hopefully we'll see Chloe Kim with an Olympic gold medal tomorrow.
Yes, and we'll see who can join her on the podium as well.
Yeah.
So been a fun day. Just to review the medal table, Germany have now moved into first with their luge gold medal. They have 5 gold medals, 3 silvers, no bronzes. Norway second, 4 golds, 2 silvers, 4 bronzes, and Sweden in fourth with 4 golds, a silver, and 2 bronze.
Nice. So maybe we'll see USA creep up that list over the next few days.
And hopefully Britain can just
get on
that. We don't care how, we just care that it happens.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you all for joining.
And I guess we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow us on your podcast service for more. And don't forget to visit us at twitch.tv/fastestlosers to catch future podcast recordings and streams. See you soon!